Right, so I know on this channel I don't really cover like much mainstream stuff that is happening, but this one's a little bit different because it is kind of like taken over even on TikTok, which is obviously where I get the vast majority of my topics from. But it is a situation that is originally from mainstream media. It has now resulted in multiple response videos from multiple people over on TikTok. It's become a massive situation. So there's a couple of people you need to be aware of, some of which you probably have definitely heard of before. The first one being Simu Liu, who is an actor, author, and UNICEF Canada ambassador, if we look at his bio on TikTok. I had specifically heard of him from being an actor. He's been in some very big movies and shows. Like if we look at his Rotten Tomatoes page here, you can see his highest rated movies: Shang-Chi, Barbie, Women as Losers, Arthur the King, Simulant, Jackpot, One True Loves. He's been in some very big movies. And the second person you'd be aware of is Manjit Minhas, who is an entrepreneur, mother, wife, dragon, 10 years and counting, if we look at her bio. Now if we look at some of her companies, there's a list here. There's Minhas Breweries, Distillery and Winery, the 9th largest brewery in the world, so massive. There's also Enbridge, YIC Calgary Airport Authority, Decibel Cannabis Company, TELUS Future Friendly Foundation. There's a number of things. Clearly we're talking about two very, very successful people here. And they were recently on a show together that you've probably heard of before called Dragon's Den, or in America I believe they have like Shark Tank, which is like the alternative. Here in the UK we have Dragon's Den, one of the biggest shows here. I watched it a lot when I was growing up. Obviously it's Dragon's Den in Canada as well, which we're talking about today, and there's Shark Tank in America. They're all very, very similar. They do the exact same thing. Some entrepreneurs come in, they pitch their business idea, they say how much they're looking to have as an investment for a percentage in their company, and then you have the dragons. These are very successful entrepreneurs who will invest in your company if they like what they're hearing. And Simu and Manjit were both dragons, as well as a couple of the dragons on the specific show we're talking about today. Now the product that was getting pitched on Dragon's Den is this company right here, Boba. Where to buy Bobba Bubble Tea has been seen by the website, a little left where near you. It's in Canada, France and USA. Boba tea, I'm assuming, is something you've also probably heard of before. As we can see here on the National Geographic, it says the first iterations of the drink, also called Boba tea, emerged in the 1980s out of Taiwan's traditional tea shops, and today Boba tea shops remain a fixture in most neighborhoods across the island. Rather than sit-down spots, they are usually grab-and-go establishments operating at a devilishly fast speed. But now that we've got all the context out the way, let's actually take a look at the original video that has caused this huge backlash that has resulted in multiple response videos from multiple people. So it's an episode on Dragon's Den where these entrepreneurs are seeking an investment of $1 million for 18% in their company.
We are here today from Quebec City seeking $1 million in exchange of 18% of our business, Boba.
And there's a number of things that they say throughout this pitch that people were not happy with. One of them being that they called it a trendy drink that you just don't know what's in it.
That trendy sugary drink you are queued up for and you are never quite sure about its content.
Like the pitch kind of does come across them kind of belittling boba tea or any variation of boba tea before them and saying it's like this sugary drink, you don't know what's in it, people are queuing up for it for ages, but now we have the better, healthier version. In fact, they literally go on to say that they have converted it into a healthier option.
Hang on. I'm quite sure about its content, but continue.
Okay. Yeah. We have transformed this beloved beverage into a convenient and healthier, ready-to-drink experience.
And it becomes very apparent that Simu and Manjit disagree on this product straight away.
I'm concerned about this idea of disrupting or disturbing bubble tea because it's something that's very
near. There can be new takes on things.
Sure, but I'm looking at
not everything
I'm looking
has to
at
be
these
traditional.
two guys. No, but then there's also an issue of cultural appropriation. There's an issue of taking something that's very distinctly Asian in its identity and quote unquote making it better, which I have an issue with. But I want to hear the pitch before I formulate an opinion.
Oh boy, that's one way to start.
That's one way to start. A little heavy there.
Now, another line that people weren't happy with is that these entrepreneurs go on to say that this product is not an ethnical product anymore, is what they say.
It's not an ethnical product anymore, not with the popping bobas. So,
I mean, you can see straight away Simu is not very comfortable or happy with this pitch. They then go on to talk about their sales. They've clearly made a lot of money from this business.
I'm really curious what your sales are today.
So we just launched this company 2 years ago. The first real year we did $2.2 million.
Yeah.
With a profit of $300,000.
Yeah.
And this year, we just ended the year in February. We did $4.6 million with a profit of $600,000.
Wow.
And we are on our way to do $7 million this year.
Now, a little bit further on in the pitch, Simu then asks them what respect is being paid to this Asian drink.
Clearly you're doing very well. What respect is being paid to this very Asian drink that has blown up around the world? And is it in your teas? Is it in your product development? Who is on your staff? Who's on your cap table that is allowing that for you?
It's a good question because our best partner is in Taiwan, actually. So they make all the recipe, all the boba. We work really hard. We travel to Taiwan. We speak with them. They are part of our team. It's really important for us.
But then after taking a look at the labelling on the can, Simu sees that there's no mention of the history of boba tea or anything like that, and then gives his overall thoughts on the product.
I am studying your can, and I am looking for anything that tells me where boba came from. And where boba came from is Taiwan. You know, I started this venture company for a lot of reasons, but really primarily to uplift minority entrepreneurs. And not only do I feel like this is not happening here, but that I would be uplifting a business that is profiting off of something that feels so dear to my cultural heritage. I want to be a part of bringing boba to the masses, but not like this. So for that reason, I'm out.
Now at this point, a few of the dragons do make an offer. There is Manjit, who's made an offer by herself, and there are two other dragons that have decided to pair together to make an offer, and ultimately they end up deciding to work with Manjit.
I think we will go with Manjit because of the distribution with the alcoholic and everything.
I'm very
Thank you so much.
excited. Thank you.
And even after the entrepreneurs have left, Simu and Manjit are still disagreeing.
It makes me sad how successful this business is. It makes me sad that people are, you know, they're
Why?
drinking boba with the raccoon with the sun.
It doesn't mean that they don't have the opportunity to change and do that.
That's true, but
It
there has to
doesn't
be a
mean-
willingness, and I have to be able to invest in these founders knowing that,
Right,
that
but they
change is
didn't.
possible.
They didn't say no. The collaboration that they've had to this point is with their supplier in Taiwan, and if nobody else has told them that before, you can't put that all on them.
And that is how the segment ends, and people had a big problem with this. I don't even think it's even just the product itself, that's obviously part of it, but I think it's also the way it was pitched, almost like downplaying any boba product that happened before this. Straight away throwing remarks in like, you don't even know what's in that, have our healthier alternative instead. Also the fact that the labelling doesn't have any mention of where boba tea came from. There are a lot of things packaged together that people had a problem with, and we can actually read the comments right now. The fact that it looked like Manjit had an issue with what Simu was saying, truly disappointing. Then in quotation marks, it's not an ethnic product anymore. What? Bro, why is Manjit embarrassing us like that? The way their website says it's the first ready-to-drink bubble tea drink is wild. Never quite sure what's in its contents in boba was such a microaggression. Why is everyone ignoring his concerns? Is this episode from 15 years ago? Because popping boba has been around for a while. This is probably Simu Liu's best take. I hate how all other investors were laughing at him and shaming him for bringing it up when founders said nothing about, hey, you're right, I'm sorry. Clearly you can see most people, in fact, literally every comment I can see on screen here, has a problem with it. And in fact, it's not just comment sections, it's taken over like mainstream articles as well. This is just the news page on Google right now, all talking about it and saying like there's criticisms with this product, talking about the back and forth between the dragons. And this has resulted in multiple response videos from multiple people. This first one being from Simu, who kind of talks about how this is an important topic that they spoke about.
First and foremost, I want to say I think we hit on a really important discussion about cultural appropriation, what it is, how is something exploitative rather than kind of paying homage and paying respect. When is that line crossed? And in that conversation, by the way, I've experienced a massive wave of positivity and support from people from every community, and I just think that's really incredible, and I really appreciate that.
But then he goes on to say that he's been made aware that this company and even fellow dragons, obviously Manjit in this situation, are receiving like hateful and horrible messages.
On the flip side, I've been made aware that the business owners have received a lot of death threats and harassment and otherwise just kind of bullying and dogpiling. And I just want to say that full stop, it's never okay to make threats. It's never okay to bully and harass online.
He then goes to say that he's not against criticism, but some people have took it way too far.
And what I mean by that, I don't mean that, the business owners don't deserve valid criticism, and I don't believe that you should not be vocal about your disagreement. But, I think we can all agree, common sense, there's a line that you don't and shouldn't cross. There's a line that you wouldn't cross in person. And I just don't want the legacy of this segment to be pitchforks and, people fearing for their safety. I think we're starting to lose the plot of I think what ultimately the positive energy of this is, which is let's educate people, let's make the world a better place, let's make people aware that, you know, certain things aren't okay from a cultural perspective.
He then goes on to say that he believes they pitched in good faith.
I believe that the entrepreneurs of this business came on Dragon's Den to pitch a business in good faith. There were a lot of things with the pitch that I took issue with and I disagreed with, and as a result, I pulled out as a potential investor. But that doesn't mean that I believe that they deserve harassment and threats.
He then goes on to say that he believes that entrepreneurs' exposure to these type of conversations was limited. He also mentions the fact that English wasn't their first language, so you've got to bear that in mind when you're listening to some of the stuff that they said that people have a problem with. And then he also goes on to mention the hate that his fellow dragon is getting and gives his thoughts on that.
I also want to say that the show has been kind of catching some strays. Some of my fellow dragons have been catching some strays, and, you know, kind of along the same vein of what I was saying before. That's, you know, we have such a short time to formulate our responses when we're filming these segments. Oftentimes you're seeing a lot of knee-jerk reactions and micro expressions that happen faster than the blink of an eye, and then we can't take them back because the camera's rolling. And so I again found myself on the other side of that, of an unfavorable edit. But I can tell you for a fact that the show, the producers, the crew were so supportive of what I had to say. And in terms of my fellow dragons, you know, regardless of what they said or what, you know, what they did or did not do while the camera was rolling, in the break room, everyone was all ears. Everyone was like, I want to hear more about what your perspective is. Let's, you know, have a conversation. And yeah, I really wish that that had been filmed, you know, but that isn't the reality. And so, of course, the segment is what everyone has to go off of.
And he then concludes the video by saying that we should have a productive conversation about stuff like this and don't take it too far, don't cross the line. And that is Simu's response to this video. The comment section is very much on his side in this case. Like, there's this comment here saying, very gracious of you to post this to take some heat of Manjit and the founders of Boba, but I'm curious to know if they acknowledge their role in all of this and have taken any accountability. We do have a response from Manjit and the company in just a second. For us Latinos, it's Spa Water all over again. Yeah, there's a lot of people mentioning, like, other cases that are similar to this previously. On the flip side, there were people leaving comments like this one saying, how is it different than Starbucks and matcha tea? To which people were responding with stuff like, imagine somebody made pizza brand and called it pizza and market it as a better and healthier and tell the world that you never know what's in traditional pizza. How stupid does that sound? So yeah, it seems like the vast majority of people agree with this video. Now, we do have a response video from Manjit as well that was originally posted on Instagram. I'm watching a re-upload by Lucky Slides on TikTok. The video's still up on Instagram, but the Instagram player on desktop's really bad. You can't, like, scroll back and forth and go back to rehear stuff. It's not very good. So I'm watching this re-upload, but it's the exact same video. Now, to start off, Manjit mentions the episode that she's talking about and then goes on to say that she is no longer investing in the company.
Last week's episode had a pitch from entrepreneurs about Boba Tea that has sparked a big conversation. After more reflection, due diligence, and listening to many of your opinions, I will not be investing in Boba Tea.
She then goes on to say that she had to turn her comments off because of the hate, and then she also goes on to say that she believes that cultures should be shared.
Having said that, I had to turn off commenting on my platforms because it is never okay to send hate and death threats to the entrepreneurs. I believe wholeheartedly our cultures are meant to be shared, including food, drink, clothing, dance, languages, and weddings.
And then she goes on further to say she always tries to enjoy different cultures.
Those of us like Simu and I who have platforms to do so always try to use these platforms to educate and enjoy and explore all cultures. It is cha or chai, depending on where you're from, not chai tea. It is naan, not naan bread. Sharing cultures increases understandings and brings peace on earth, something our planet could use. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
And that is the video, a very short and sweet response. If we look at the comment section on Manjit's actual video over on Instagram, we've got comments like, translation, the business appears to no longer be lucrative, so I will no longer be investing anymore. I don't see the cultural appropriation everyone is mentioning, but here is a script, please leave me alone. We've then got people saying, why are you acting like Simu didn't try to actively educate you in real time? This isn't about you being unaware, it's about you being dismissive of opinions that differ from your own, and based on this video, cultures other than your own. All you've shown with this video is that you care more about how the public public perceives you than about learning from someone who is knowledgeable on a topic you're unfamiliar with, or frankly don't care much about, regardless of public support or backlash. The mistake wasn't just the investment, it was that you shut him down when he was trying to educate you. You gaslit him and did it with a smirk. I admire and respect all you have accomplished and believe that your intentions are sincere. However, your PR team has misguided you in believing reading a teleprompter and a script is effective. You're going to get more clapback because of this now. So yeah, as you can see, the vast majority of people aren't particularly happy with this response. Now, we do also have a response from the company itself, which isn't a video, but it's like a slideshow of text. Dear valued customers and public, we are very sorry for our delayed response. We needed some time to do our due diligence and fully understand the gravity of the situation. First and foremost, we want to deeply apologize for the harm we have caused by our words and actions on the show. While it was never our intention to cause harm or disrespect the community that created and popularized this beloved drink, we take full responsibility for the impact of our actions. Additionally, Simu Liu raised very valid points regarding cultural appropriation, and we welcome this learning opportunity. We fully understand the backlash over our feature on Dragon's Den based on what people saw on TV. When we said you're never quite sure about its content, we were not referring to the traditional bubble tea formula found in specialized shops, nor were we criticizing it. We can appreciate that this wasn't communicated effectively in the episode, as English is our second language. What we were comparing it to is the other ready-to-drink products like ours found in big box stores. On the show, we were presenting our newest Boba formula, which hasn't been released everywhere yet. In this version, we've removed all artificial coloring, flavoring, and preservatives, while maintaining a low sugar content. This is what we were referring to when we mentioned a healthier option on the show. Regarding the cultural significance and origins of bubble tea, we know our choice of words was misguided and understand people's reactions. What we were trying to do is celebrate that many other cultures are now enjoying this wonderful drink. Our choice of words was wrong when trying to explain our point, and for that we are extremely sorry. What we explained during the show is that we have produced a different way to package it with a ready-to-drink glass bottle that minimizes the environmental impact. Our Taiwanese partners were heavily involved in the research and the development of this product, which we believed helped us achieve such early success. At no point did we mean to insinuate that Bobba Bubble Tea is better than traditional bubble tea in any way. Despite our intentions, we take responsibility and are accountable for the impact that this has had. It is clear to us that we should have called upon the expertise of our own Taiwanese partners to shape the ways in which we give credit to the cultural roots of bubble tea and ensure cultural integrity by properly acknowledging its origins in Taiwanese culture. We will reevaluate our branding, packaging, and marketing strategies to ensure that they reflect a respectful and accurate representation of our Taiwanese partnership and bubble tea's cultural roots. We will also commit to further learning about the impact of cultural appropriation to ensure we are equipped with the skills to effectively work cross-culturally. We are confident that if we continue to engage in open dialogue with our partners, community leaders, and stakeholders, we will prevent this happening again in the future. We understand that the actions speak louder than words, and as such are committed to taking the necessary steps to ensure our safety decisions reflect our values and the deep level of respect we have for Taiwanese culture. This has been a valuable learning lesson for all of us, and we understand people's negative reactions, but we feel that hate speech and death threats are absolutely uncalled for and need to stop. We truly hope that people give us a chance to set things right and show you that we can do better. Respectfully, Sebastian and Jessica. So yeah, a pretty long response to say the least. Now looking at the comment section, it seems like people still aren't particularly happy with it. We got comments like this with 18,000 likes that says, this was worse than Manjit's apology, still not understanding the issue or owning up, but blaming it on language barriers. Says wants to promote culture, but did no research or due diligence. Can someone check if they chat GBT this apology? Did they apologize to Simu? I don't see it. From your site, in quotations, Boba is the first ready-to-drink bubble tea made from infusion of real tea and unique fruit juice pearls. No mention of glass bottles or environment. Something folks haven't mentioned was when Sebastian was asked about Boba, he essentially just said he looked at the market and it was a good business opportunity. I thought you said Boba was the first bottled drink of its kind, but now you're mentioning comparing it to other ready-to-drink products. So is Boba not the first of its kind? In brackets, it's not. Look, people clearly disagree with this response. I would love to know your opinions in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about, from F1's responses to the original pitch, just everything that we spoke about. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and that is everything that we are aware of at this point. I think it's probably fair to say the pitch didn't exactly go the way that they expected it to go. It's became this huge thing with articles everywhere, people making tons of TikTok videos respond to this that we didn't even have a chance to look at in this video, but it's what most people are talking about on TikTok, it seems, or at least on my For You page it was. And yeah, it's caused this massive conversation. Again, would love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below, but that's all we know at this point, so I'm going to leave it there. So if you did enjoy, please do leave a like down below, subscribe if you are new, and until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, goodbye.